Cool. So introducing featured artist, and Rob doesn't need a minute to get the shot ready because there's only 3 of us tonight. So Bob Bryant, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the show. It's about time we had you on here. We've been helping you promote your music for I don't know what, the past 8 months, 9 months,
Past 20 years.
20 years, something like that. Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So this is the part where the featured artist gives, like I told you, your elevator pitch. If you can just let us know who you are, what you're doing, briefly, and then we'll get a little deeper with Dave when we come back after we listen to your song, Examine Yourself.
Sure. Well, my name is Robert Bryant. Bob is the name that I go by.
Not Ronald.
Not Ronald. Robert.
Can't imagine who would call you Ronald. That's great.
I do go by Remotejazz. That is the bizarre title of my group. Even though there really truly isn't a group, it's just me playing all the different instruments and music and so forth. I've been recording since September of 2010, so that's about 8 years. I have about 4 or 5 projects out there available for people to download and purchase. And I'm into the jazz genre, smooth jazz specifically. I've been told that I have sound similar to some of these artists, which you might know of or you might not. Amon Tobin, Funky Porcini, Boney James, Rick Braun, and Paul Hardcastle.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool. So let's check out Examine Yourself. Bob, we'll be right back. Hang out for a few minutes and we'll get deeper with Dave.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Deeper with Dave. Deeper with Dave. Oh, yeah.
Sponsored by.
So for about 20 years, I've been meditating every day. Honestly, that's just my daily health practice. It's part of my process. And in that time span, I've experimented with a lot of kind of, they call it like music guidance. I use some type of sound effects, when I'm listening to stuff or when I'm meditating. So a common sound in that practice. Like the Monroe Institute is what I use mostly right now, and there's like binaural beats and all this stuff, but some of the most common sounds in guided meditation is like the bells and waves from the beach, because it's
Ocean.
proven to be the most calming and healing, actually, and helps bring you to the proper brainwave state for, the most invigorating type of meditation. So the first minute here, man, that's what I heard. It was just this kind of like new age type of healing sounds going on. So before we get to the jazz stuff, what are your thoughts on the intro, man? Does that have anything to do with your mission here in creating the song, is to have some type of, healing vibe music in the intro?
Well, in a lot of ways, I am going through a healing process myself right now in my own life, a spiritual healing type of process. And I too like to meditate. However, I've never really sat down and gotten into meditation as far as choosing sounds to help me. I'm looking for peace, and I want to help other people find peace in their lives. I've been able to do that, and I want to be able to take them to a place where they can find peace. So I can certainly understand. I had a critic write something on my last CD about the music was great for meditation. She even compared my music to Enya as being the kind of music, but I try to compress peaceful, quiet sounds with robust music, jazz and rock and pop. I try to combine all of them together to create a real soothing atmosphere. So
Yeah, it's a nice mix, Bob. It really is, because it kind of puts you in a nice mental space for the first minute as you ease into smooth jazz, which is, I've said this in a bunch of shows in the past, I was like obsessed with this genre for a few years. And a lot of the greats like Boney James and Paul Hardcastle, Mark Antoine was, like I was telling you before the show.
Mhm.
Definitely hear a lot of this in your style. I'm surprised to hear you only been making music for 8 years.
Well, I studied music in college. I studied drama and music and communications. I actually went to school to be a broadcaster. I was interested in radio, and I got involved in radio for a little while, and I got out of radio, and I got into banking. That's a real strange
Yeah,
segue, but
a sharp left turn right there.
yeah, a very sharp left turn. But as I was approaching my retirement, I ran across a program one day, a software program in our local Best Buy, and I always wanted to write music and I wanted to produce music, and I found something that was going to allow me to do that. And so I just started doing it, and I've been
Bob, you've deprived the public of your genius for decades, man. Why'd you wait so long? Why'd you hold off so long, man?
Well, because I don't have an orchestra at my command, unfortunately. I don't have
So technology kind of opened these doors, and you're like, hey, I can do this myself for a low budget. Yeah,
definitely. Technology has definitely been able to help me get my music out there. If it weren't for that, I just can't imagine, in the 70s when the Eagles were making an album, they would have to get all the musicians into the studio to record their parts and so forth. And that's not really necessary nowadays.
Well, even in this short period, since 2010, like you were saying, I mean, you said you've become friends with Paul Hardcastle and a bunch of some really big names in the smooth jazz space. Is that just from kind of networking and having them listen to your music?
Yes, it's from networking. There are lots of Facebook jazz groups out there. Um, and, every once in a while, I will promote my music, send clips to the different groups, and people have heard my music. And, I really do have a pretty good following at this point. And all the different jazz groups. Most people know who Remote Jazz is, which Joe has really been helping me with.
Yeah, man.
So,
It's really great stuff. It's such a great sound. I mean, Chris Loopy Swan loves it too. He wrote the
yeah,
review for you. He's
yeah,
one of our regular critics.
he wrote a great review.
Yeah, saw it on the website. Yeah, you featured his review on your website, so that's cool.
Yep.
And the website is, by the way, remotejazzmusic.com.
.com. Very easy. Very easy.
Crazy. We're gonna move on.
Okay.
It was a pleasure chatting with you, man, and
Right.
we'd love to just keep hearing your new music as it comes out because we're all fans of this genre, and we love listening.
I'm in the studio right now working on new stuff for a new CD, so you guys will
Awesome.
be the first to know.
Awesome, man.